As a leader, supervisor, or manager, there's one inevitable task you will encounter: the tough stuff conversation. Whether it's addressing underperformance, critiquing work, or dealing with heightened emotions, some situations with some people will be tough. There's no escaping it. Given that we can't escape the tough conversations, a clear choice remains. The fact that these conversations are inevitable leaves us the following options: passively ignore them, actively avoid them, have them reluctantly, get good at them. We think the last option is by far your best choice if you plan to stay in a leadership or management role for longer than the next month or so, particularly if you want to be a leader with influence. If, on the other hand, you're a few weeks away from handing in your notice and heading to Tuscany to eat, drink, and generally be merry, then perhaps you can get away with the first three options. For the rest of us, who have to make do with reading about Tuscany and occasionally sitting through a bad romantic comedy about a 50-something woman rediscovering her life, and turn up to work each day, there really isn't much choice. It is imperative to get good at the tough stuff conversations, because quite simply, your leadership legacy is defined by how well you handle them. The 2 steps to getting good at the tough conversations are: building a better understanding of human behavior, learning how to modify and influence the behavior of others. These are foundational skills that underlie the strategies and practices, but before they can be applied, we need to unpack some basic principles about why we do what we do. Why we do what we do. Human behavior can be mind-boggling at times. For every example of strength, bravery, courage, and heroism in the world, there are as many acts of stupidity, irrationality, and downright bizarreness. Yet all behavior can be understood in the context within which it's exhibited. At some point in our lives, we have all been flabbergasted by someone's behavior and asked ourselves, why do people act this way? Or thought, I don't understand why they have done this. But it's worth considering the broader context to understand the why behind the what. ABC model of human behavior. Understanding why people behave the way they do can be tricky, and has essentially spawned the science of psychology. Despite human behavior being incredibly complex and diverse, the building blocks of behavior, what we do, are best understood through a simple yet effective tool, known as the ABC model. The ABC model breaks down and segments behavior in order to understand it better, in the same way that an editor pulls sentences apart and considers each word on its own. If you have ever studied psychology or read books on behavior modification, you will have encountered this model. It's back-to-basics psychology, but it provides a great platform for investigating what else is at play when we're exploring human behavior. When dealing with the tough stuff, understanding the context of someone's behavior is important and will lead to greater success in your ability to influence that behavior. The ABC model of human behavior considers behavior across 3 elements. Antecedents: events that occur or are present before the person performs the behavior. Behavior: what the person did or what can be directly observed in the present. Consequences: events that occur after and as a result of the behavior. Antecedents is just a fancy word for what comes before. It describes the environment or factors that occur before a behavior. Then the behavior itself occurs, and the consequences stem from that. For example, feeling tired is an antecedent for sleeping. Sleeping is the behavior, and feeling rested the next day is a consequence of sleeping. Taking this a step further, feeling rested may then become the antecedent for delivering a clear